And back here at Croke Park, we're getting ready for the second of this year's All-Ireland Senior Hurling semi-finals. That's the meeting of Waterford and Tipperary. The throw-in is at 3:30. Yeah, can Tip reach their second All-Ireland final in a row, or will it be the Jesh's turn this year? Well, let's get the thoughts of the rival managers, and they are Davy Fitzgerald, the Waterford mentor, and Liam Sheedy, the man in charge of Tipperary. Now, they've been talking to Marty Morrissey.
Any changes on the starting 15?
Yeah, we have one change, all right. Young Brian O'Halloran will be starting, but other than that, everything's the same as normal.
And that's instead of Seamus Prendergast. Is that a big ask to ask a 19-year-old who's never appeared bar the Munster final when he came on as a substitute to start in an All-Ireland semi-final?
This guy is he's well able for it, so he is, and I suppose he would have been on the panel a lot earlier on for the leaving cert, let's be honest. So it is, you know. He's absolutely flying at training, and we've the utmost faith in him. But Marty, we've a strong panel, so I do, and I'm sure before the day is out, we'll end up using 20 of these guys, and we're going to need that. It's going to be a tough day out there today, but one we're looking forward to.
The last time you met here, 2 years ago, Waterford got through. Has that any bearing? Is that a motivation for you as a manager?
No, I think we're very much focused on our own preparation, and we'd be very happy in terms of the way our preparation has gone. You know, for the last number of weeks, the lads have put in Trojan work, you know, and they're in a great space, and they've worked really, really hard. And as I said, they're down there, they're nice and relaxed, and they're just really looking forward to getting out in the pitch. And as I said, you know, we really want to bring our performance with us today. And you know, if we bring our performance with us, I think it gives us a chance, very much similar to last day. You know, generally these matches are puck of a ball stuff. We don't see today being much different. But you know, we are battle hardened, and as I said, we're really looking forward to today.
All right, now let's get the thoughts in some detail from the panel on these two teams and some things perhaps to watch out for. And, well, Cyril, one player to watch out from the Waterford team all this year has been Michael Brick-Walsh, who's having a stormer of a season.
Yeah, probably Mike. He's the best centre-back so far this year that we've seen in the Championship. He's really the anchor of the Waterford defence. He lies back in the pocket. Great to read the game and great in the air. Maybe from the football world just now. So this is a puck out from Donlow. Look at here, fetches out of the sky. Now, he's developed a new little thing this year. When he's bottled up, usually fellas will hand pass. That's the usual thing. But if you watch later on, if he's bottled up, he'll kind of flick it with the hurl. Again, you'd wonder sometimes how there's no one really challenging, but he's able to read. He makes it look as if he's always on his own. Watch this little flick of the hurl. Just goes 5 yards, but he's very effective. Again, on this breaking ball here, back in. Who is he there again? Like, he's the one man that Waterford look up to the whole time. And if Tipper to win this game, they're going to have to devise a plan not to keep him out of the game, really, because if he keeps mopping up like this, here again, like this is like he is a great hurler. Another little hand flick across with the hurl, and away you go. It's an unusual. Again, like he drives down the field. Watch this now. Has a look up. Crossfield ball. They needed a score here to draw level. Now, here is a great catch here and a great shot by Owen Kelly. But the cross is brilliant and a great score. Yeah. So to me, like, he is the whole anchor of that Waterford team. Not only the defence, the Waterford team, really. Yeah. Good game from him and Waterford in the game.
OK, now, Gerard Nan, we've been asking you to have a look at the Waterford tactics. Very tense-looking Davy Fitz, by the way, going into this match.
Yeah. This is a huge game for him, and he has put an awful lot into this game, and he's very hopeful. Now, we all know about the new Waterford game plan of withdrawing their half-forward line midfielder and just leaving John Milan up as a target man. Now, you know, the big problem with that is that the support isn't coming fast enough. So when the ball breaks in there, there's acres of space out there. Half-backs come back, you know, pass it out, then get it forward again, and Brick Welch there again. Now, when the ball comes in here to the forward line, there are so many Waterford players in the area. It's very hard for the opposition to get a shot in.
Yes.
Now, Brick Welch again, there you are. He's the fulcrum of the whole thing. The ball is delivered again. Now, look where Milan is, on his own, completely on his own. Now, I think today that Waterford are going to have to change that slightly. They're going to have to leave somebody up with Milan up in the front. Here again, he has plenty of space, but imagine if he had a man coming on the outside, towards near the sideline. Now, I think that's why Holland is on trailers. I think that maybe Shane Welch should be up there. Holland is very good coming from deep. You know, he's great pace coming from deep. Look at the acres of space you have inside here. Nobody in there. Now, if you were a forward coming in there at pace, he has a target man to give the ball to. Now, I think when Holland came on in the Munster final, that's what he did. He played far out, and then he came in at speed. He got a great point doing that, And maybe that's the reason why
he was taken off again in that match as well, you know. So it is a big ask for him. But I do agree what you're saying, certainly. I mean, like in today's conditions, certainly. I mean, Milan is asking. You're asking a serious ask of him. Yeah. I mean, if Tipperary adopt the same as what Kilkenny do, leave their men into key positions, and they're hitting ball up into open space for Milan to run onto, it's going to play into Tipperary's hands, you know. So they're going to have to that pressure. And if it goes in a situation where Waterford are looking for a low-scoring game, certainly, go back and pack your defence. But if you're driving ball up there and it's coming back out willy-nilly by the Tipperary guys, they play to midfield and they get scores from long distance, that's going to hurt Waterford, definitely.
And Tipper way better forwards as well. So that will not work today.
Let's get your thoughts on the Tipperary team, Tomas, because, you know, earlier in the season when we thought they were going to perhaps float through Munster, or certainly have it easier than they had, went out of the championship in Munster and then had to sort of kind of reinvent themselves. You've been looking at that kind of turnaround and how they've reshaped themselves. Yeah,
I suppose after Cork's performance last Sunday, and you'd be looking at their Munster championship game in Park, you'd be saying, where were Tip at this stage, right? And they were struggling big time in defence. They were struggling under the high ball, and particularly Padraig Maher was struggling in defence as well. And since that game, they've moved them to the wing-back position as well. And he certainly hasn't been comfortable at number 3. But again, it was a big ask. I mean, that man was hurler of the year, back at full back last year, and they take him out of defence. And at times in that game, you just thought maybe there's a bit of complacency in this team. Change it to the Galway match, and it was a totally different team, you know. They showed a lot more hunger. They changed around the team a little bit as well. Brought Padraig Maher back into centre back at some stages in the game as well. I thought at the end, and I thought that was probably one of his better performances in the Tip jersey this year in a central position. But he did struggle in the wing back position as well against Galway, and a lot of the low ball that went down caught him for pace as well. But I must say though, when they mattered most in the second half period, Michael, of that game, when it was in the melting pot, the Tip backs did stand up and they started grabbing ball off the air and they drove on, and I would expect that from Tipperary again today.
Yeah. OK, let's get some other opinions on today's game. The views now of two men who will be hoping to make a big impact on today's game, Stephen Malumphey of Waterford and Owen Kelly of Tipperary.
Every year we're kind of always written off, which, to be honest, I like that. You know, we're always kind of the underdogs. But again, the whole time we're just focusing on ourselves, and actually if we believe in ourselves, we will get past the next step.
We've been here in 2008 against Waterford, and I suppose we know what it's like to lose a semi-final to Waterford. So this time around we're hoping that we can reverse the result and hopefully get over the line.
Davy's he's brought a lot more to the table, and that the age profile's after going down in the senior team. So no, I think it's definitely changing now. I mean, they used to say again, you know, this is the last year we're pushing on, but for the first time we actually have players there now that, you know, it looks bright for the next decade or so.
I think we've gained a bit more experience maybe in a couple of the bigger games. The last day against Galway, I think we used the ball very well near the end of the game, and being 2 points down with maybe 3 or 4 minutes to go, just that the team never gave up and took the right options near the end. Thankfully, we created the chance that won the game, and Lark Corbett got a great score.
Lark Corbett getting a shot in and putting it over the bar.
Tipperary's style of hurling, you know, it's the movement in their forwards is, you know, unbelievable, and especially when they're pulling back. And like overall, I mean, you know, the win against Galway just showed how impressive they are, and they seem to be timing their run just perfectly, you know, to meet Kilkenny in the final. And I think that, you know, they are one of the favourites for the final itself.
I'm very impressed with the physical condition I think that the Waterford team was in this year. I suppose tactically they've gone very defensive, and it's something I suppose Davy as a goalkeeper himself, he'd be probably minding the house, but they have lethal forwards as well, and if you take the eye off the ball on one sector of the field, I think you're going to be in trouble. So all round I definitely think they're probably a better team 2010 than they have been the last 2 seasons under Davy.
We've won something, we have a title behind us, and again, you know, once the title is something you'll always cherish. But again, it just shows that the next day, you know, we put that aside now and concentrate on the semi-final. This game, you know, it's the be in and end all. I mean, you have to win it, or that's it, it's all over.
It's a game that every team, when they get that far, you want to win. Being in the last 4 is no good at the end of the season. You want to get to the All-Ireland final, and that's what we're looking forward to on Sunday.
We're confident. Obviously, we're respectful towards Tipperary. I mean, they've been a powerhouse in hurling for well over a century.